I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. Fury fam, guys, how you feeling? How you feeling this week, man? I had a long week myself, busy, all kinds of stuff going on. If you join me for Phin-Addict Fury on TD's channel on Wednesday at 8, I appreciate it. If you smash the subscribe button on this channel and you smash the subscribe button on TD's channel, you hit the like button over there, you hit the like button over here. That's all very appreciated. YouTube actually wiped out almost all my subscribers that I got from the appearance on TD. I don't know why, some kind of weird algorithm where they think it's illegitimate or something. So look, if you're watching now, just take 2 seconds. You don't even have to stop listening. Just click that subscribe button down below. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before draft day. That's the goal. Before draft day, we want to hit 1,000 subscribers because there's so much we could do for the channel with 1,000 subscribers. But long story short, I had a long week, and yesterday, on my way from my workplace back down into the city, I figured, hey, I got a little bit of a break because I had more stuff to do last night, and then I had to go to court this morning. I had a lot to do, but I said, hey, let me turn on this Mike McDaniel press conference while I'm in the car. That way I could just listen to the whole thing without any distractions, and I'm just driving. It's all I'm listening to, the whole thing front to back, and you know how we do it on this channel, right? It's straight facts. It's all objective, and we give honest opinions and honest assessments of what we hear and what we see. So I listened to the presser, and I have a lot of thoughts. And here's how it started for me was you know my thoughts on Magoo, you know my thoughts on Ross, you know my thoughts on Greer at this point. The introductory thing, they're yada yada about this and that, and then McDaniel's first thing that comes across from Mike McDaniel, is like, look, and this, you don't have to ignore or deny this, whether you're excited or not or whatever. He's a quirky dude, right? I mean, he's a quirky dude. He's the way he speaks, his mannerisms, his presentation. I mean, he's a quirky cat. Like, he's a little of odd type dude, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. All right, that's one of the first things I did notice about Miss McDaniel. I wasn't thrilled about the first 20 minutes or so with the Ross thing, and then when McDaniel's being asked the questions like, "Are there any red flags?" He just goes out of his way to say, "Not one red flag." Are you kidding? Ross is one of the best owners. All he cares about is winning. I think we all know that maybe that's a little bit of fluff, fluffer nutter stuff for Ross and for the Dolphins, whatever. But can you really blame a guy who just got hired? Again, those kind of responses to me early on, and I'm just being real, those responses kind of early on seemed a little bit, again, like kind of coached, kind of staged, he knew those questions were coming. They had a ready answer to try to make Ross look good, to try to do all those things. But what I did notice was right around the 31-minute mark, and this was like, I'm driving, and I'm kind of in a little bit of an eye roll type thing, like, oh, this is him. He's a little quirky. He's playing the company line. Right at the 31-minute mark of the presser, there was a question that was essentially, how are you going to deal with the distractions? How do you plan to handle the distractions, the drama, the week-to-week considerations of being a head coach and the difficulties and all of those things about being a head coach? And McDaniel just said, and I'm driving, kind of just zoning out, and he just says, well, I plan to handle it well. And right at that moment, when he said, I plan to handle it well, like me just as an objective, just somebody listening, I automatically snapped out of my, not caring kind of thing. And I kind of snapped into attention. and I was going to say apathy. You try to find words on the cuff sometimes. Sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not, guys, so bear with me. But I snapped out of my apathy, and I kind of like tuned in there. And I was like, ooh, that was like a dope answer. That was a straightforward, like confident, real dude type of answer. And he said he plans to handle it well. And then from that point on, I listened to the dude. Now, he could be quirky and he could have a certain mannerism, and he's a little nerdy. Like, and I don't say nerdy to diss him. I just say nerdy because, like, hey, he's got a little bit of nerd in him. Like, and you know what? I got a little bit of nerd in me. Just because you got a little bit of nerd in you doesn't mean anything bad necessarily. But the way he was handling the presser, and this is what I said I was going to be looking for. If you listen to my show on TD Wednesday, I said what I want to hear from the presser is I want to hear when he's himself, when he's in his own element, when the questions are being asked of him randomly from members of the press, unrehearsed, unexpected. How does he wheel and deal and respond in his natural element? What insight are we going to get into his actual thought process, his actual way of, methods and schemes as far as how he's going to take on being the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, how he's going to tackle that job. And from that point on, for the rest of the presser, I was very impressed with Mike McDaniel because no matter who he is or how he comes off, he owned that. And he seems to own that. He knows who he is, and he knows how to apply who he is and to work with who he is and his attributes to be successful. I was impressed, and I was also impressed when they asked him, what makes you think that players are going to respond to you, that you can lead them? And that is an important question because, you look at the dude, you listen to him, you're like, okay, you might be smart, you might be funny and all this stuff, but can you lead these super athletic, super alpha male football players and motivate them and get them to play for you the way that they're going to need to play for you in order to win football games and be successful in this league? That's the lingering question on everybody's mind, and somebody asked it point blank. And I was so impressed because he didn't say anything nonsensical. It wasn't like, well, they better. He didn't make up anything. He was dead honest, and his answer was something I've never heard before. All this talk of him being outside of the box, this sounded real outside the box. He said, well, fact is, these guys have a very short career. They're grown men. They're professionals. They're aware of the fact that they have a small window in which to improve their play and to accomplish the things they want to accomplish. And if they think I can help them, and if I can help them, and if I have legitimate coaching and wisdom to give to them, then it would make sense that if they think I can help them, they will listen to me to improve themselves because it's beneficial to them. What a great answer. I didn't think of that answer. I didn't see it coming. He knows how he comes off. He knows his personality. He knows how people see him. So he's like, look, they don't have to run through walls because they're scared of me or I command some kind of an insane respect because of my records in the league or whatever. I can help them because I'm a student of the game and I know the game and I know positions and I'm a smart guy in general. And since I can help them, if they trust that I can help them, they're going to listen. That's a whole new coaching philosophy that I've really ever heard. And I think it has a chance to be successful, depending on the players, depending on the culture, depending on who his assistants are and whatnot. I think he's got a real chance to implement that. I was just impressed that he was that honest, and I was impressed with that philosophy. And another question, another thing I wanted to say, I said this on TD's channel too. I said this on Phin-Addict Fury on Wednesday on the live show. I said, I want to see if he's going to be able to mold the scheme and mold the offense to the personnel that we have. Or if, like a lot of these other coaches these days, a lot like Gase and whatnot, if he's going to try to say, well, my system is king, and I need all the players that fit my system, and if they don't fit my system, I'm just going to be, upset about the current players not fitting my system and just, spend 2-3 years trying to get the right players. And I said he's going to need to cater the system to the players. Well, he was asked by Omar Kelly, how does your system, you've been in with Gary Kubiak, with Shanahan, father and son. You've learned this system. How are you going to implement this system? How beneficial has it been to be in this system for all these years? And McDaniel said, look, it's a blessing. it's a blessing that I've been in this system for virtually such a significant portion of my career. So I'm a master. I'm a master of this system. But he said, you know what's interesting? Every year, and he gave specific examples. That's what I love. He wasn't just blowing hot air. He was given specific examples of like wideouts he coached and running backs. And he was like, we would get new guys with different skill sets almost every year and at every stop. And I had to cater the system, and the system had to evolve. He used the word evolve. The system had to evolve to fit the players that I had. And he seemed to really be in a place where he was looking to implement a system, and he's a master of his system, and he wants that system to evolve to fit personnel. This seems like common sense stuff, but it's amazing how many coaches don't say this. It's amazing how, whether you are a tough talker, whether you're a big personality, whether you're an all-star former player, whether you're, a known commodity and you've coached before, no matter who, the authenticity benchmark and the authenticity barometer comes from how well do you own yourself. Not that you have to fit a certain personality type or that you have to fit a certain, presentation, but whatever your presentation is and whatever your personality type is, how well do you own it? That's how you measure somebody's authenticity. I saw a lot of authenticity in the second half of this press conference. Unlike the phone call, unlike that, and listen, I'm not going to go down this road, but for the two-and-ears out there who are just jumping for joy, doing somersaults, like he's going to keep making the... Please stop. You're like, with the some of the fan art, I love fan art, but some of this fan art with the like Tua here and McDaniel here, I'm going to pull it out of you. Yes, best coach ever. Tua. Stop making it all about Tua. The Dolphins want to make it about Tua, which is why I couldn't stomach the whole marketing and staging of the beginning of the presser. I'm not against Tua, but it's like, bro, this is a coach. Let the coach shine. He's the man of the hour now, not Tua, okay? And actually, if you have any objectivity, we kind of got to mask some of Tua's deficiencies to be successful. And that's just reality. But when asked about Tua, he kind of deflected. He said, look, Tua's a player. Tua's a player on the team. And the fact is, everybody on the team's got a job to do, and everybody on the team has to do their job correctly, and I'm going to coach everybody on the team. And I expect Tua to be here and working hard, and I see no reason why he won't. See, that's the answer I want. That wasn't the nonsense we saw in the conference call. That wasn't all that. It wasn't from the beginning of the presser either, where he's like, they better block, they better do this. That was just, I'm telling you, that was when it was still the stage stuff that he was coached to say. That wasn't really McDaniel. When he's like, they better block, they better do, they better get separated. That was like talking point memo. Okay, like a political talking point memo that came out that said, this is what the two-and-ears say. They say he needs a line, so make sure you say he needs a line. Like, keep bolstering him. That's Magoo. That's Magoo, and I don't care for Magoo. But just because I don't like Magoo doesn't mean that the guy he hired has to be a bad hire. And as of right now, once McDaniel got on a roll, he wasn't really talking much about the whole Tua thing or this and that. He was talking about, I got to coach a football team. I got to coach men. Guys who respond to me and want to take advice and want to be coached are going to be successful. I expect them to work hard. I'm going to work hard. And he was owning every bit of himself. Even when he joked about, meticulous, not quite as meticulous as his coaching search, apparently. Like, kind of mocking Magoo and the media. Pretty good. Like, so I liked, you see my face. You could see my emotion. It shines through. Like, this is authentic right here. I like the dude, man. I like the dude as a person. I like the dude. And I hope he's successful because he comes off pretty authentic and real to me. It doesn't mean he's going to be successful. There's still questions around this team and questions around him, but I'm encouraged by what I saw. I went from like this forlorn, just kind of down in the dumps mentality that I had for a while to this, hey, I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen with this guy. I'm kind of like, just to see what he can do because he's a real dude with an honest philosophy that he's ready to implement, that he's been preparing to implement. And he's certainly a smart dude. Like, you can tell sometimes, like, somebody's word choice, the way they convey ideas, the way they think on their feet. This is a smart dude. Like, and I mean, a lot of guys are smart. To be a head coach in football, you got to be smart. But this guy's like above and beyond what we're used to seeing. Raw intelligence doesn't mean he's going to have the most success in the field? That we will see. But he certainly has a chance, and I'm willing to give him a chance. And after that presser, I was waiting to see a few things. And this is how you guys know I'm objective. Just like I said, I was waiting on Tua to show me something in the big games for the playoffs. He didn't, so I am the way I am on the stance with him now. I said I wanted to see certain things from McDaniel in the presser. I saw them, so I'm encouraged. It's not about trying to form a narrative and stick to it. It's about, hey, I'd like to see this. If I see this, I'll think this. If I see that, I won't. I saw what I wanted to see. I'm encouraged by McDaniel. I'm encouraged. I really am. So another piece of news just quickly is that looks like McDaniel's bringing in Wes Welker to be one of his assistant coaches. That's a good idea. Not only is Welker, a Hall of Fame probably receiver, and several-time championship winner who played on a winning, winning organization. Also has connections to Miami because we know we had him before he went to the Patriots and became a star. But not only is he a hard worker, somebody who knows the mechanics of the position, somebody who played the game at a high level, but he also brings, I kept talking about, well, McDaniel's only been with the Shanahan tree. He's only been with the Shanahan tree. Well, now you bring in Welker, who has a lot of experience with the Patriots way and the Patriots organization. And so that's a great, I think, person to have in the room, and especially as somebody who played so recently, it just adds a lot of respectability, and it adds a lot of credibility to the coaching room and to the coaching staff for the players to see, hey, Welker is coming to work for me. He respects me. It's not just me who's this, authentic brainiac dude. It's also players that are coming to work for me. Boyer apparently staying on his DC. That's not really a surprise. How do I feel about it? I don't know. I want to see how he does without Flo, because I was under the impression, and I think there's some decent evidence that the defense got better last year when Flo took the reins. So is Boyer going to continue to implement and play the aggressive style of offense that Flo was using? Or is he going to step back, and how much does McDaniel's overall philosophy fit into that? We've got to see, right? I'm hoping McDaniel says, dude, it was working. He seems like the kind of guy that'd be like, hey, it was working. I want you to keep running what was working. I've studied it. It looked good. Maybe a tweak here, maybe a tweak there. It was working. Keep running it. I'm going to implement overhaul this offense. And once I overhaul this offense and we keep that defense at that level, maybe we're going to make an actual run. But let's see. But I'm cool with the Boyer thing as long as they keep up the same level of defensive play that they had, which, again, like everything else, remains to be seen. But I'm hoping to see it. Gerald Alexander was fired, who was the secondary coach. Kind of interesting. Secondary was a strong position for Miami. So it's interesting. I don't know if they didn't see eye to eye. I don't know if Alexander was loyal to Flo. I don't know if Boyer didn't really want him and he was more Flo's guy and Boyer wanted to get rid of him. No one really knows. Secondary did perform at a pretty high level. Then again, as I'm always talking about, can you always give credit to the coaches for the players? Not always. Sometimes the players make the coaches look good. We do have some very good secondary players, so maybe it wasn't so much the coach. Maybe they were just playing good because they are. Maybe they could benefit and play even better with a better coach. I don't know. I'm not going to knock Alexander because by all accounts, he was a very good coach. He was probably one of the best coaches on the Dolphins. Just like when Flo got rid of veteran players, McDaniel's coming in. I like him. He's authentic. I want to give him a chance to make his mark. I hope he makes his mark. That's great. But we'll judge it later. So if the secondary all of a sudden doesn't play well next year, well, maybe we have to call into question his judgment in getting rid of Alexander. But we don't know what happened there, right? We don't know if it was him. We don't know if it was Boyer. We don't know if it was Alexander himself. We don't know what happened. So he's been let go. Welker's coming in. Boyer's staying on. That's kind of where we are. The presser was impressive. Let's see where we go from here. There's a lot of questions about this team. I'm not getting my pom-poms out and saying, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to be great. I'm not doing that. But I am saying that I like this guy. I like him. Does it fit the culture? Does it do what it's supposed to do? Can he change the team enough to get us to where we want to go? If he needs personnel, like if there is still a quarterback issue in a year, is he going to have the leeway because he reports to Greer? Like, is this Greer saying you're keeping Tua and if you fail at developing Tua, you're done? Or is this, hey, I've worked with Tua for a year, 2 years. I like this other guy. Let's go get him. That remains to be seen too because I like him. I don't really trust Greer and I don't trust Magoo right now. But I do trust McDaniel, except when he does a stage thing, he has to do it. I trust him after hearing his authenticity. So are they going to give him? Because I trusted Flo, too. I liked Flo, too, okay? Are they going to work with McDaniel? Are they going to listen to him? Or are they going to railroad him if he doesn't like what he sees? Let's see. But for now, Larry K's opinion is, I was very impressed with Mike McDaniel's presser. I like Mike McDaniel. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do for our Fins. Guys, if you haven't yet, please smash the like button. Please, right underneath, just smash the subscribe button. Again, trying to hit 1,000 before draft day. We can do it, Fury fam. We've been rising in numbers since the beginning of the season. We have tons of momentum. We're doing very well. We're killing it. Again, a special thanks to TD for putting me on. Smash the subscribe button, and then Wednesday night at 8, I'll see you there on TD Fins Talk. I'll be live, taking all your questions, interacting with you guys, and I'm looking forward to that. Until then, have an awesome weekend. Stay up on all the Fins news, and I'll see you very soon. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.